The future of college football is becoming increasingly clear. The SEC and Big Ten are positioning themselves to dominate the sport and cash in on billions of dollars in revenue, leaving the rest of the football world struggling to keep up. During a recent episode of the Triple Option podcast, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey candidly discussed what lies ahead for college football, offering a rare glimpse into the powerful forces shaping the sport. His comments confirmed that the SEC and Big Ten are in the process of consolidating their power, paving the way for a future that revolves around their dominance. Sankey, a man known for his calculated and purposeful approach, revealed that the SEC and Big Ten have no intention of stepping back or slowing down. They want to be us, and that's on them to figure it out, Sankey said bluntly, highlighting the growing divide between these two powerhouse conferences and the rest of the college football landscape. His words all but shattered the NCAA's long-held ideal of collegial cooperation between universities. Next week, representatives from the SEC and Big Ten are scheduled to meet again to discuss their collective future in the sport. The agenda includes dealing with the fallout from a legal ruling that awarded billions of dollars to former college athletes, as well as plans for revenue sharing that could begin as early as the 2025 season. Additionally, the two conferences are exploring new ways to generate revenue through non-conference scheduling, a move that could help offset the financial challenges posed by player compensation. Sankey's remarks came just after the unveiling of the College Student Football League, a proposed new league aimed at expanding FBS college football and adapting to the current legal and political climate. This 136-team league would be divided into two divisions, with the top division comprising 72 teams, essentially the current Power 5 programs and Notre Dame. The league would feature promotion and relegation between divisions. However, the likelihood of this league succeeding seems slim. Its premise hinges on the idea that the SEC and Big Ten would willingly share their wealth with other schools, a scenario that appears increasingly unrealistic. Sankey made his position clear during the podcast, dismissing any notion of the SEC joining a super league with other schools. "I don't want to dumb down the Southeastern Conference to be part of some super league notion with 70 teams, he said, signaling that the SEC is content to forge its own path. The reality is that college football fans and advertisers alike crave big games between powerhouse programs. They want Georgia versus Alabama, Ohio State versus Oregon, and Michigan versus Texas, not mismatches like Alabama versus Western Kentucky or Ohio State versus Marshall. The numbers back this up. Of the top 12 games in television ratings so far this season, the SEC has been featured in 10 of them. Every single game in the top 12 featured at least one SEC or Big Ten team. Given these realities, it's hard to imagine Sankey, or the presidents of the Sec-16 universities, being enthusiastic about joining a league that would dilute their brand and potentially reduce their revenues. Instead, the SEC and Big Ten are moving forward on their own terms, creating natural separation from the rest of college football through strategies like favorable college football playoff formats and exclusive non-conference scheduling deals that boost media rights revenue. This effectively boxes out the rest of the field and strengthens the two conferences' grip on the sport. As the SEC expands to 16 teams and the Big Ten grows to 18, the gap between these two conferences and the rest of college football is widening. And with the allure of marquee matchups like Michigan versus LSU or Ohio State versus Alabama, both during the regular season and in the college football playoff, few are likely to object to this new reality. Ultimately, Sankey and Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti have been working behind the scenes to ensure that their conferences remain at the forefront of the sport, framing their efforts as addressing the challenges facing college football. But make no mistake, the SEC and Big Ten are carving out their own future, one that's unlikely to bring the rest of the sport along for the ride. As these conferences continue to grow in power and influence, the rest of college football risks being left behind in their wake. The rocket has launched, and there's no sign of it coming back to Earth anytime soon.